Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education Committee of the Whole meeting of August 3rd, 2026. Where did July go? We're here. If you are joining us this evening and you're present in the room with us and you'd like a copy of our agenda, they can be found on the table just outside the door to my left. If you would like to participate in audience communications, blue slips are in the same spot for you. So if you do want to participate in audience communications, if you could get me your blue slip, that would be appreciated. I do have a few of them already. So tonight's meeting is a committee of the whole meeting. We will be followed by a special meeting at which we'll be voting on several organizational items for the school year. Generally fairly perfunctory stuff, but things that have got to get done. So the first meeting that we're holding tonight is a committee of the whole meeting. Committee of the whole meeting is a time for the board to discuss a whole lot of items that are coming before us that will be voted upon at a future time. Some of those may be voted upon later on this evening, and some perhaps even past that. So at this meeting, we will be discussing a lot of items. You'll hear a lot of details on items, a lot of questions and answers and so forth, but the actual votes will take place at a subsequent meeting. Our school district teaches community with character, and it comes under several different titles. Teach that to our children at all levels of education. You have our word that starts with this Board of Education. We will treat everyone who comes before this Board of Education and one another with respect this evening, and we ask that everyone who is participating in the meeting do the same. We will be taking a very brief break after the Committee of the Whole meeting before we start into our special meeting of the evening. The first item on our agenda this evening is audience communications. Audience communications is a time that the board sets aside to listen to comments from the community. We have a 3-minute time limit per person for audience communications. The purpose for a time limit is so that everyone has the same fair and equitable amount of time to present whatever thoughts they have to the board. It is very much by design a listening session. It is not a question and answer session. The board may or may not be aware of whatever topics may be coming before us at audience communications. So if you have specific questions that you need answered, you can expect a comment or an answer back, most likely from our administrative team. The Board of Education responsibility are primarily threefold, and that is to hire and evaluate the superintendent, to set the strategic policy, or the strategic goals rather, of the district and match the budget to those goals, and set and evaluate and revise, if necessary, policies for the district. So if your questions, if you have a specific question and it pertains to those three areas, you tap it until it turns green. There you go. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Eric Doomer. I'm one of the technical mentors for the Livonia Warriors robotics team. My wife Kelly and I sent an email last night to Ms. Oquist, Mr. Green, Mr. E2, and Mr. Grazak with a desire to understand the status of the 2026-27 LPS robotics program. I'm here tonight representing a few of the team's lead mentors who are also in attendance. As an in-person summarization of that email, I understand that the format of audience communication is not for back and forth dialogue, so I would like to take the time to let you know, what we don't know, and what we are missing, with a desire for further communication on the state of the program. What we know that Iselina Carlini resigned as the LPS robotics coordinator and Livonia Warriors head coach sometime in June. We understand there was a plan to post the coordinator and head coach position with an aim to fill both positions. We also know that many events that were on the robotics calendar were recently removed. What we don't know if these positions were posted, if there was any interest, or if they were filled. Our assumption is neither of the positions were filled, and we are unable to determine if either of them were posted. We also don't know if the removed meetings will be reinstated. And what we are missing, we're missing a coordinator that runs the team's engine so the mentors can focus on using robots to build students. Some of the coordinator's responsibilities are scheduling team meetings, scheduling and running parent information meetings, registering the teams with FIRST, obtaining and maintaining corporate sponsorships, maintain an $80,000 to $100,000 budget, order robot parts, interface with the LCTC building schedule, principal and custodial staff, vet new volunteers via the iChat process and ensure they complete the child protection training, settling disputes between students, parents, mentors, or any combination of them, interface with the Churchill event coordinator to bring a district event to Livonia, register the teams with FIRST, register the teams for their district competitions, coordinating logistics for district, state championships, and world championship events, and the list goes on. Our most urgent and time-sensitive time-sensitive activities that require action during August are kicking off the FTC season, which officially starts September 12th, kickoff meetings for interested students and parents originally scheduled for tonight, sponsorship robot demo with our longtime sponsor HM White on August 13th, start a Football Mania fundraiser, which is tied to the NFL season, which starts September 9th, perform a robot demo during the LPS Bounce Back to School event on August 20th, and set up for the Kettering kickoff competition in September 13th. Many of the mentors here tonight, as well as still many involved with the Livonia Robotics Program, no longer have students in the LPS system. We started at the Dickinson Center, moved to the interim space at Laurel Park Place for a year, and are now blessed to have the Robotics Center at the the Career Technical Center. We fell in love with the program and want to see it remain successful. Our desire and expectation from the school board and school administrators is for them to meet with a small key group of mentors so we can understand the immediate and long-term status of the program. Thank you for your time. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Second left, yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is James Perrin. Mr. Perrin? Good evening. And if you can tap that microphone, tap the red button.
The green.
There you go. Now it's
Okay.
green. Now you're on. Thank you.
I'll take it. All right. Hello, my name is James Perrin, and I'm the head coach for the Frost Middle School Robo Falcons FTC robotics team. And I've been doing this role for several years now. Our team has been extremely successful, winning the state championship in 2021 and attending the World's Championship 3 times in the last 5 years. I wanted to speak behalf on all the 3 FTC middle school teams. With the FTC program being limited to 2 years for 7th and 8th grade students, there is typically a high turnover in the head coaches and mentors of these teams. The first-year families do not fully know what they're signing up for, and by the time they learn what and want to help, they have 1 year to help, and then they move on to the FRC high school program. This natural high turnover rate makes it a challenge for a team to be successful. Ms. Carlini has been instrumental in keeping these FTC programs running. There is a lot of behind-the-scenes work required to keep these teams running, from fundraising to registration and attending the competitions, to even the basic task of scheduling when the team's meetings will be at LCTC. Ms. Carlini has been our single point of contact with LPS and LCTC for all of these matters. Without her role being backfilled, this will create a lot of chaos in an already dynamic event. This lack of total FIRST robotics program oversight for all the programs, LEGO League, FTC, and FRC, from LPS will be disastrous for these teams if not backfilled. Her role is like the athletic director, but instead of just covering for one high school, she is covering all elementary, middle school, and high school teams at the same time. The amount of time she volunteers to robotics is simply not measurable. In conclusion, Ms. Carlini has been the backbone for these teams, and her resignation was not an attempt to hurt these programs, but to try and get a long-term backfill for herself so that she has time to help train a new person. The value of the leader is not just what happens while they are there, but also what happens after they leave, and she recognizes this continuity would be needed for the success of all these programs. Our FTC season is fast approaching with planned prep meetings with students and families typically scheduled now through the end of August, and the season officially kicks off on September 12th. Getting this position filled ASAP is paramount to the success of this year's seasons. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Perrin. Our next speaker is Patty O'Brien Novak. Welcome.
Thank you.
And your mic is still on, so you're all set.
Yes. All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Patty O'Brien Novak, and I am the lead programming mentor for the Livonia Robotics high school team. This will be my 7th year as a volunteer. I have helped the students from the young elementary all the way up to high school, including middle school, learn how to code a robot. Every mentor today that is here is a volunteer. We all have careers, families, and responsibilities outside of robotics. Yet during the robotics season, many of us volunteer what amounts to a second full-time job because we believe these students are worth it. We gladly give that time. That's why we're here. But we as mentors cannot replace an essential district position, one requiring detailed coordination within Livonia Public Schools for the many reasons stated tonight. And much of that coordination happens during a typical workday when we are tending to our personal careers. The students who have already committed to this year's robotics season deserve the leadership and support needed to ensure this program continues to thrive, not only for them, but for every student who will follow in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's okay with me. Thank you. Thank you to our three speakers this evening. Mrs. Oquist, I assume that you'll be in contact with our speakers as this is a day-to-day item, or someone from the district is is on this.
This is very high on our priority list
Thank you.
as well, and we certainly have valued everything Mrs. Carlini has given, and we respect her decision to resign her position. It certainly does not take anything away from all that she has done for our students, and we absolutely know what a priority this is. Mr.
Thank
Easter,
you.
I have every confidence is already and will continue to be deeply involved.
True. Thank you very much. Are there any other speakers in the audience who wish to address the board at Audience Communications this evening? No. All right, we do thank the three of you for coming forward. For the others who I assume are here to support, thank you very much for your dedication to the program and for coming here to share your thoughts this evening.
The combined brain power and work power just sitting in this room is significant.
These are familiar faces. These are not for the first time I've, yes.
They make a lot of things go. And
Excellent.
we're very, very grateful for all of them.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is Committee of the Whole. I don't have any items under this topic. Mrs. Oquist, I assume you don't have anything either?
I do not.
All right. Next item is our Operations Committee, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, President Burton. We have one item, discussion of sale of property, and Mr. Green is going to help us with that.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me back. We're back on a cadence here of our regular meetings, and we started you off lightly with this first month's item, and we're going to have many more for you on our rotation of the 10th, 17th, and 31st, I believe, is our next item. But this item tonight I'm bringing to you for a vote at our meeting after this involves the property on Ann Arbor Trail. We spoke at several study sessions last year in Committee of the Wholes on that vacant piece of land. It's about 10.3 acres, and how that property is no longer a property that's needed by Livonia Public Schools, and we've had an interested buyer. And that initial purchase price, as you'll see in your agreement tonight, of $50,000 also includes quite a few other stipulations, including a development fee for each lot developed of $12,500. And it also involves several protections for the school district. If the developer were to sell to a third party, we would get the full value of the appraised land, which is great protection, including the lien involved in that contract as well. So the goal is to bring this forward tonight for approval of sale. And with that contract that was drawn up by our legal, we feel there's great protections for Livonia. If the site is developed within a 10-year period, we would get practically, I think, a little actually above the asking price that we've had before. And if, again, for some reason, the developer chose to sell, we had talked about at study sessions having some kind of formula, weighted formula. Our legal just said, you're gonna just pay us what it's appraised for. And so that was a great agreement. The buyer has been very cooperative in all those back and forths that we've had. And we'd ask you, as part of our strategic planning for unused and vacant land, to think considerably about this and approve it at our next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Questions from the board? President Burton.
I'm definitely in favor of this. If this were a piece of land that we needed for educational purposes, or if we ever thought might be needed for educational purposes, that might be a different story. But it's clearly a piece of land that has not been used for a school building in decades, and we don't anticipate it being used for such purpose at this point. So, as we've kind of kidding around, but very seriously said in the past, we are not a real estate holding company. We're a school district. So if we can sell this to somebody who can make use of that land when we are absolutely not, that's a good thing in my opinion. So I'm very much in favor of this sale.
May I pop in with just one more follow-up? Mr. Green did a great job summarizing that, and I'm sure we will say this more than once tonight, especially when we go from committee of the whole to a vote. is that this is a topic we have been discussing,
Correct.
I believe, since last December or January. So we had the initial conversation, maybe even December, and then the follow-up conversation, and then actually through the direction of the board, went back and tried to find a final agreement. We were successful in doing so, and quite frankly, feel that this is actually an outstanding agreement for the district. So I just, whenever someone
Yep.
may be listening to the meeting and we're summarizing something and then voting on it, it may seem that we haven't had the same amount of dialogue. This is something that we've probably had dialogue at least a half dozen times together as a group, so.
Correct. Yep. Thank you.
Mrs. Frank?
And also, it is a unique piece of property. It is a
It
very
is.
unique piece of property, which is why the sale is structured so uniquely. And I appreciate all the work that you went to make sure, innovative way to make sure that Livonia Public Schools is compensated for it, even though it is a complicated deal and there's some complicated restrictions on the property. So I appreciate that we're moving forward, even though it took a very long time. So.
Anything else? Mr. Green, what's the time frame?
The agreement has already been signed by the purchaser. We have not signed it because that has to go through a resolution of the board and approval of the board. And then it would then enter its 60-day inspection period, which we've already kind of gone through that process, so we know what we're looking at with this land. And then it would be, the title company would take over from there.
Okay, great. Okay, if nothing else, then this is on our regular meeting following this.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Green.
Thank you very much.
And that is all for Operations Committee, President Burton.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the Division of Instruction, and I'll turn it over to Mrs. Bradford.
Thank you, President Burton. We have 3 items this evening, and we're going to start out with item A, course offerings for the 2026-27 school year. And hello, Mrs. O'Brien.
Hello, Mrs. Bradford. Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Crystal's like, are you going to say hello? Yes, I'm going to say hello to all of you. It's been so long since I've seen you, and I've missed you so much. So we, each year, starting this year moving forward, as a part of our organizational, we will be adding on to the organizational meeting, voting to approve what courses we offer. And so we are public on our website. So our course of study for our middle school and high school, we make adjustments each year. It's posted. All of our parents have access to that so that they know what they can sign up for their students. We also, under our parent tab on the curriculum, we have curriculum maps for all of our elementary grades, and then also for each course. So that's something we've been working on as a part of adopting all of the new materials, is saying what standards we're teaching, where in the resource we're utilizing it, if we have supplementals, and then what assessments we give. Teachers have access to that whole spreadsheet. Parents, we don't give them access to the assessments that we give because those are unit assessments that students take. So that is on our website each year. When we adopt a new resource, we we might pull that link down for part of the year while we change it, at least for that first semester. A good example is our ELA at middle school. We've been writing that curriculum. So Mrs. Rousseau has put it up, and then she takes it down when she works with her committee, and then adds it back up as they have added on additional novels that they might be studying or whatnot. So part of the state law is that you know what courses we offer, you approve all of the resources that we have, and so this is something we want to add to our operational meeting each year.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments regarding that? Mrs. Burton, President Burton.
Just a quick thank you, Mrs. O'Brien, for sending us that information so we could have some time to take a deeper look at it.
Yes. You're
And
welcome.
honestly, I had forgotten it was on the website, so
Yes.
thank you again.
Yes.
Just
My
sending it, when you
pleasure.
could have just said, go look at the website.
Nope, nope, I'm more than happy to give you those links. I mean,
Thank you.
We've
Yeah.
done, in the last 5 years, so many new adoptions that it's been such a passion project for my department to make sure those things are out there and accessible to our parents.
Terrific, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, and I'm sure all our parents, it's great that it's accessible, that they can look at it at any time they like on the website. That's really helpful, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll continue on to item 4B, virtual learning days for the 2026-27 school year. And Mr. Etu's up here to visit us. Hello, Mr. Etu.
Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So yes, we are going to talk a little bit about virtual instructional days. This is something that's in the state budget that was passed recently in terms of 6 virtual instructional days that are available for local public school districts to utilize throughout the school year. It's something that we've been doing for a few years already, especially on our state testing days. So at the secondary level, for our middle schools and high schools, one day in April, one of those testing days, we make a virtual instructional day for those students who are not testing. And that's what we're looking to do moving forward for this school year as well. Now that it's in the state budget or state language, we need board approval, and we'll inform parents, if approved by the board, that we will pass the virtual instructional days. 6 days are allowed to be used. 3 are for testing days, 3 are for emergency days, but those 3 emergency day ones are only if we go over and above our allotment with the emergency, snow days and things of that nature from that standpoint. We're only looking to utilize 1 on April 13th, 2027, which is the first day of state testing at the secondary level. It's our PSAT day and our SAT day. So how does it look? Our teachers are all involved in the state testing on that day in the morning, but in the afternoon, it kind of becomes an asynchronous, independent learning day for our students. So our teachers inform our students of what their responsibilities are on that particular day. Each student's responsible to go into each of their 6 Google Classrooms for each of their classes, and they'll have an assignment within there, and they have to complete that assignment and submit it that particular day. So that accounts for their attendance as well. From about noon to the end of the workday for the teacher, they're available as well. So they will be in their classrooms, they'll be on their computers, and they can address any questions students may have through any of their Google Classrooms at that time. And it's worked really well the last handful of years for us. It really alleviates the distractions of state testing that's going on in the classrooms and things of that nature. So we'll be bringing that forward to you.
Mr. McFarland.
I just wanted to say this is a great marriage of the technology we have at our hands without disrupting the test takers. And I know a lot of families that I'm familiar with love the fact that they don't take place of the snow days just if we exceed the allotment of. So just a seemingly like a great plan and agreement the whole way around. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions or comments regarding the virtual program? Or the virtual days, I guess. Learning days. Okay, seeing none, we're all set. Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right, moving on to item C, 4C, the purchase of iReady
Guess we could have
diagnostic.
ordered those items
Yeah, I guess we
differently.
could have
That's
done that
on
in a
me.
different
I
order.
should have
Mrs. O'Brien's back.
noted that. Sorry about that,
Amazing.
folks.
Good evening.
She's
How
back
are
again.
we?
Hello.
So good to see you. I am recommending that we purchase iReady Diagnostic for the 26-27 school year. This is a benchmark, a state-approved benchmark assessment that we utilize in kindergarten through 8th grade. We give it 3 times a year at middle school and kindergarten, and 4 times a year for 1st through 6th grade. We utilize its information both to tell us whether students are at grade level, but we also use its information to help us determine what needs students have if they are not at grade level. This assessment we have used for many years, and this year we got an additional reduction in price, although their prices did go up. So the list price is $8.25 per test per student. They reduced that to $6.60, which 10 years ago we were paying $5. So it has inched up, but it didn't inch to $8.25. So they gave us a reduction in that, giving us a total savings of $28,822.20. The total purchase for all of our students kindergarten through 8th grade is $115,288.80.
Any questions? Mrs. Frank?
Forgive me if I missed it. How many years is this license for?
Each year we do this.
Right. So is this still the best tool out there for now for us? I know that we've kind of been thinking about reevaluating. Is this the best tool that's out there, or we're reevaluating every year?
So we have been talking about reevaluating and have been waiting for the state-approved assessments for the dyslexia law before we really dig in deep.
Okay.
So we currently have a benchmark law, we have the 3rd grade reading law, and now we're gonna have the dyslexia law.
Okay.
Every 6 months, companies apply to the state to be approved for the dyslexia law. iReady was not approved the last time. Last week, they were approved for grades 4 through 9 as a dyslexia screener, but they're still not for the early L. So we purchased a Mira last year. It's part of our HMH programming, and we are going to pilot that as our dyslexia screener at 5th grade to start this year. K4 has a new math program we do not want to disrupt, so we'd like to keep using iReady. Teachers know it, they know how to use that data. So we have our eye on both of those products. So to answer your question, yes.
Yeah.
And this probably will be the year. So by the end of this year, January, they should come out with their next and maybe final round of approved assessments, and then we should start making our decisions based on meeting the tenets of the law for the 27-28 school year.
Okay, perfect.
Mrs. O'Quist?
I'd actually like to add, because I think that's a great question, Mrs. Frank, and we've been talking about this a lot. And in addition, could you just spend a few minutes talking about, in addition to iReady and the pilot of Mira, we also use the OG benchmark assessments, we use the ORF and the morphology, and how that, for the lower grades, is an integral part
Yes.
of assessing where our students are as well.
Yes. So as you know, we use Orton Gillingham as our word study curriculum, but it also has a set of assessments. So every teacher in grades K through 4 utilize either the Orton Gillingham phonics or the morphology. They both come from the same company. And we use those screeners each trimester to determine what students' needs are when it comes to phonics and phonemic awareness, and then how words are put together, morphology. All of our teachers have been trained in that. We've utilized grant money over the last 3 years to send all of our teachers, our interventionists, to that training, and then we collect at the district level those assessments. So we not only look at them in our buildings, but we also say, according to the past, which is a part of the Orton Gillingham, 78% of our students, I'm making that up, can identify blends in grade level words or whatever that is. So we have grown the amount of assessments that we use to be more than just iReady. And then at 5-6, using the Amira, there's some assessment suites we'll be using this year. And then what was
The oral fluency, the
so,
ORF.
So last year, we started utilizing iReady's version of the oral reading fluency. So iReady didn't have a fluency piece to it, and as a part of the dyslexia law, Mrs. Corey said we need to start adding in that assessment. So last year was the first year we moved to having teachers use a shortened passage versus a guided reading book like we used to use. So we've shifted away from those strategies that we used to do when we did Fontes and Pinnell. That is not current research and best practices. We've moved to doing the oral reading fluency. So this year, after last year was kind of getting their feet wet, we'll begin to collect that data as a piece of it. And all of our teachers, kindergarten, it's 1st grade mid-year to 6th grade, read with their students and do an oral reading fluency. Paper and pencil, and then we can move to digital. And Amira also has an oral reading fluency, so we will be trying out their digital version of that this year as we kind of pilot it.
So just to know that there's a robust
Yes.
set of benchmarks and assessments that are done. And Orton Gillingham is an approved curriculum by the state.
Oh.
And so we have been using Orton Gillingham and then the Uprel version, Morphology. And so it really is a package and really a portrait of a student when we look at all those assessments. So our achievement teams and especially our interventionists are looking deeply at each one of these. Right now, I believe we still find great use in the results from iReady. It's also something that not only our staff, but our students have become very familiar with. So we see a correlation between that and their reading growth and believe it is still meaningful, but we are not putting blinders on, and that's why other assessments will be piloted this year. It is a big part of what Mrs. Harvey, who you just hired last week, is going to be doing as part of her role. We actually spoke about that in her final interview as one of a number of different things, but it's a great question. And one thing I love about the way our academic services department works is they are not a team to, one, throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, but they are also not one to say, we use this, it works for us, and we're not going to keep innovating. And so, in deference to both our students and our teachers, I believe we always move forward very thoughtfully in that. And the going into Bridges this year for mathematics will be a significant shift after over 2 decades of everyday math. And so keeping some of those pieces of assessment the same really makes sense to us, but while also having some folks piloting it so that by next year we can make that determination. So a long answer, but it actually was a really timely question.
Thank you.
There's so many moving parts with all the different laws, with the dyslexia law, the other.
Yes.
There's 3 different laws going on at the
It'd be
same
nice if
time.
a couple assessments were the same.
Yeah, like if it
Yeah,
would, if
good.
it was, had more fluency or continuity to it, I think that makes
Well, and
it,
some have different purposes, but
Sure.
definitely like, we're trying to think, not having a teacher need to learn too many different platforms, right? So
And we're
what's
con-
the most important information?
and the assessments are, there's always an assessment, so we're always looking at trying to hopefully mainstream some of the assessments so that they can count towards different laws or different
Yes. Yep.
programs. It's very complicated, I'm sure. So, Mrs. Burton, President Burton.
You mentioned, Mrs. O'Brien, the digital options with our students as opposed to pencil and paper. Especially with our younger grades, what do we know about the impact on the test result? Whether we're testing digitally or pencil and paper, especially with our littlest learners.
So like an iReady, which is a digital platform, so the first time they take it is mid-year of kindergarten. And so
Okay.
that's the very first time they take a digital assessment.
Okay.
And so we're very cautious. It's very developmentally appropriate, but we feel like it gives us the amount of information that we need, so we value teaching students to take that assessment online. Students still take plenty of paper and pencil assessments in their classrooms. So we have module assessments in our reading modules, both writing prompts, performance tasks. There's also a reading assessment that's aligned to grade level reading. At 5-6, there's science assessments. So we make sure our students have a balance of both,
Okay, good.
but also want to make sure that if it could save time for a teacher and also get a student get a teacher the information from the student, and it's engaging for the student, we want to balance those two things. But I think that definitely relates to Mrs. Frank's question about looking at all of the products that are out there, because in the last several years, they have added many.
Okay. And am I remembering correctly that the iReady will send a teacher and a student in one direction or the other based on how they answer a question, and then it'll give the teacher, and we give the student a different question based on their answer, and give the teacher the appropriate follow-up lessons that a student may need based on what they've got right, wrong, and otherwise.
Correct. So the assessment adjusts based on a student's and moves them up. It also could drop them and make it easier to get an idea of what grade level. That's why it's a benchmark. It gives us a grade level range. It also does come with a set of lessons that say, this student is here, and these are the next pieces they
Good.
need to learn in order to get there.
That's
So
what
it
I was,
provides
that's what I
both
was
those
thinking,
things.
which sounds just like an incredibly valuable tool. So I'm glad
It
that we
is.
are looking at it carefully before we make a switch.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Great questions, you
Yep,
guys.
any other questions regarding the iReady diagnostic or the literacy program? Okay, we're finished. Thank you, Mrs. O'Brien, and we're done, Mrs. Burton. We're all finished for
Thank you.
item 4.
Next item on our agenda is item 5, Finance Committee. Mrs. Acosta?
Good evening, President Burton. To my knowledge, we have nothing to report this evening.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Next item is our Policy Committee. Mrs. Frank?
Nothing to report for policy?
We did not. President Burton and I had spoke a couple of months ago. We knew July was going to be quite busy with some of your other very important meetings. And so we will begin our cadence of review of policies starting next Monday at the August study session for votes at the end of August, and then going from there.
Sounds good. Next item is item 7, Human Resources. Mr. McFarland?
To the best of my knowledge, we don't, Human Resources is tired and we
Yeah.
need a break. So,
Amen?
no-
Yeah.
Nothing on tonight's agenda.
Human resources.
You just meant you guys, right? Not Dee. That
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
apply to
right,
Dean
yeah.
and Larry. They're not done.
You guys are all energized. We're
Yeah.
a little whipped.
Okay, good.
Alrighty, item 8 is Legislative Committee. Mrs. Jarvis?
Thank you. At this time, there's nothing on the Legislative Committee. Just a reminder that tomorrow is an election day, so if you haven't voted already, please take time to do so.
Excellent, thank you. That brings us to the end of our agenda for our Committee of the Whole meeting. Do any board members wish to take a break for a few minutes? If anyone does? Oh, we have to,
7, 'cause
oh, that's right, it says 7 o'clock. Okay, we got, you're right, we were done early. Thank you very much. All right, we are adjourned and we will be back on, if you are following from home, we will be back on at 7 o'clock, which is when we will begin our regular meeting and our organizational meeting. Thanks, we're adjourned. evening. Welcome to the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education regular meeting, organizational meeting of August 3rd, 2026. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Is your mic on?
Yes. Let me try that all again with a mic on. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education regular meeting / organizational meeting of August 3rd, 2026. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford,
Here.
Mrs. Frank,
Here.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Here.
Mr. Johnson,
Here?
Mr. McFarland,
Here.
Mrs. Acosta is here, President Burton.
Here, and we have a quorum. Mrs. Bradford, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I sure will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome to the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education meeting. If you are joining us, we don't have any audience members present. I don't blame them. It's a beautiful summer evening. If you are joining us from home and you would like to follow along with our agenda this evening, you can follow it on our website. That is livoniapublicschools.org. If you hover over the board tab and drop down to meeting information, there you can find the agenda for this evening. You can also, if you are interested, find videos of all of our previous meetings if you'd like to watch any of those. Let me see here. This meeting this evening is a regular meeting and an organizational meeting combined into one. There are several items that we're going to take care of that are rather perfunctory, but we do need to cover them each year. You'll catch on to which ones these are, just assigning different people different tasks for the year and making sure that those resolutions are properly passed. We do have a few other business items to take care of, so we have a lengthy, but we have many items on the agenda, but hopefully we'll go through them rather quickly for folks. We do teach character or community with character to all of our students at all grade levels, and that starts with this Board of Education. You have our word that we will treat one another and everyone who is participating in this meeting with respect, and we ask that everyone who is participating do the same. Let me see here. We are on to item 3 on our agenda, communications. I do not have any blue slips. Is anybody present who would like to participate in audience communications this evening? Seeing none, we will go on to item 4, annual organizational matters. For item 4A is the adoption of the 2026-2027 procedural bylaws. And may I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mr. Johnson.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached bylaws to establish procedures for the calling and posting of board meetings and authorization to sign contracts and legal documents for the board.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, and we'll hear from Mrs. Oquist.
Thank you so much, President Burton and Board of Education. I'd like to read through the resolution for our calendar and posting of board meetings. A resolution for the 2026-2027 board meeting calendar was unanimously approved during the regular meeting of June 15th, 2026. The board regularly holds study sessions, committee meetings, regular meetings throughout the year. Additional special board meetings and/or board workshops may also be scheduled as needed. Special meetings of the Board of Education may be called by the board president or any 3 members of the board by serving the other members a written notice of the day, time, place, and purpose of such meetings. Such notice shall be in accordance with law. The secretary of the board shall cause public notice to be given of all meetings of the Board of Education in accordance with the Michigan Open Meetings Act. The president and/or secretary of the board shall be authorized to sign all contracts and legal documents on behalf of the Board of Education following approval by resolution of the board, unless the board specifically designates other members of the board or administration in its resolution to approve the contract or legal document. These are the procedural bylaws and the 2026-2027 meeting bylaws for this coming year.
Thank you, Mrs. Oquist. Are there comments or questions on this item before we vote on it? No? All right, we have a motion before us for the adoption of the 2026, 2027 procedural bylaws. Motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 4B, designation of 2026, 2027 bank depositories. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton?
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District designate J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and Michigan Liquid Asset Fund Plus as depositories for the school district during the 2026-27 school year.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Frank and Mrs. Oquist.
Thank you so much, President Burton. I will be sitting in Mrs. Smith's stead for the evening regarding these items. We will be moving forward based on revised school code MCL 380.1221. That does state that the board shall designate the financial institution or institutions in which the funds of the school district shall be deposited. We do use J.P. Morgan Chase for our day-to-day banking and for our funds with regard to our general fund operations. We use MyLaugh, or the Michigan Liquid Asset Fund Plus, as our, essentially as our investment bank. So as you know, we invest a portion of our general funds that don't need to be immediately liquidated. And that was, that has proven to be a very prudent financial move as we have been able to pool with other districts within the state in MyLaugh. And we are able to pool our dollars together, garner a very positive interest rate, and make money off of the general fund that gets redeposited and used for the benefit of the students within our district. So J.P. Morgan Chase and MyLaugh continue to be our two bank depositories.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, we have a motion for the designation of the 2026, 2027 bank depositories. Motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Frank. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 4C, appointment of investment officer. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Frank.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District appoints the treasurer, Miss Allison Smith, as the investment officer in conjunction with the district's investment policy for the 2026-2027 school year.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. McFarland. Mrs. Oquist.
Thank you so much, President Burton. We will indeed be recommending that Mrs. Allison Smith, our Chief Financial Officer, continue to be the investment officer for the district. Per our district policy, as the investment officer, the superintendent or the superintendent's designee does oversee the day-to-day management of the district's investments. And so in this case, Ms. Smith is responsible for transferring appropriate funds to make investment transactions and the investment of operating funds, operating fund reserves, and bond proceeds, consistent again with our policy and the actions of the Board of Education.
Are there any comments or questions on this item? And again, we thank Ms. Smith for doing a superb job as our CFO. Always has and always does.
Absolutely.
Seeing no other questions or comments, we have a motion for the appointment of investment officer. Motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. McFarland. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 4D, the appointment of staff member to be in charge of elections. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mr. McFarland.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District acknowledge the appointment of the Director of Operations as the staff member in charge of school elections for the 2026 to 2027 school year. This appointment is made by the Board Secretary with formal acknowledgement by the Board of Education.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. Mrs. O'Quist.
Thank you so much, President Burton. As you know, as required by state election laws, the Secretary of the Board is required to officially appoint a staff member, and then that person serves in the capacity at the pleasure of the Board Secretary. We do need to reappoint that person each year. That has traditionally been the person that serves in the position of Director of Operations, and that has been most recently Mr. Green. As you know, Mr. Green has recently been selected to serve as the next Superintendent of Livonia Public Schools, and so I will be working to hire for the Director of Operations position. Once we have done that, that person will take over. Of course, in the interim, Mr. Green will continue to serve in that role, as we do have an election tomorrow, and he has already been in contact with the city on that. So he will certainly be involved in that, but then that will turn over to the new Director of Operations to take over that role for the remainder of the 26-27 school year.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions on this item? Seeing none, we have a motion for the appointment of staff member to be in charge of elections. Motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 4E, appointment of staff member to be responsible for posting board meeting notices. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District acknowledge the appointment of the superintendent as the administrator in charge of posting meeting notices. This appointment is made by the board secretary with formal acknowledgement by the Board of Education.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford. Mrs. Acosta. No, Mrs. O'Quist. Sorry, we've got a lot of people here.
That's okay, we're gonna do it together, right?
Yes,
Because it has to
yes.
formally
1,
by
2,
the
3,
Secretary of the
go.
Board. So, as we've shared previously, upon advice of our attorneys, the bylaws really do establish the meeting dates and other procedures, and that actually designates the Secretary of the Board as responsible for posting meeting notices. They had further advised that the Secretary designee go to the district administration. And so that is the responsibility of my office, and I'm very grateful to have Mrs. Junta, who takes care of the responsibility of posting meeting notices physically at the Board of Education office as well as online, makes that notification and also sends that to you for your confirmation. So that is all part of the requirements by law, and so our office does take care of that, and we will be happy to continue to do that.
Thank you.
You're
Are there any
welcome.
comments or questions on that item? Other than a big thank you to both you and Mrs. Junta for making sure that that's done.
Of course.
It's really important. We have a motion for the appointment of staff member to be responsible for posting board meeting notices. Motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 5, consent agenda. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Bradford.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the following consent agenda items as recommended by the superintendent. 6A, minutes of special meeting of July 30th, 2026, selection of superintendent. 6B, minutes of special meeting of July 27th, 2026, finalist interviews. 6C, minutes of special meeting of July 27th, 2026, administrator appointments. 6D, minutes of special meeting of July 22nd, 2026, finalist selection. 6E, minutes of special meeting of July 20th, 2026, first round interviews. 6F, minutes of closed session of July 13th, 2026, cannot be published due to OMA. 6G, minutes of special meeting of July 13th, 2026, candidate selection. 6H, minutes of study session of June 22nd, 2026, superintendent job description. 6I, minutes of regular meeting of June 15th, 2026. 6J, minutes of public hearing of June 15th, 2026.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And Mrs. Oquist, there was looked like in a previous paper copy, there was a year incorrect, but it was correct on our,
What we read.
on what we
Okay,
read.
thank you.
It's correct on our digital version and what we read into the record. So we're
Okay,
good.
I saw it.
Yep, no, we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, though. We have a motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. Does any board member have an item that they would like to remove from the consent agenda for further discussion? No? All righty. Thank you for reading and reading accurately that lengthy list, Mrs. Bradford.
You're so welcome.
Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes, President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is 7, which is, excuse me, business matters. Pardon me. 7A is establishment of tuition rate for 2026-27. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mr. Johnson.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District establish the tuition rate for the 2026-2027 school year at $15,140 for non-resident students per board policy JBCB, non-resident students.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, and we will hear from Mrs. Oquist on this.
Thank you so much, President Burton. I think this is my last one.
Yeah, I think it is.
So,
Make it a good one.
Thanks for putting up
Wearing
with
two
me.
hats tonight.
Exactly. As you know, board policy JBCB does require us to establish a tuition rate for out-of-district students each year. So we have established the rate of $15,140. That's about $95 higher than last year. It is something that is rarely utilized because we either generally allow a student to continue, for instance, if they're moving at the end of their junior year and they're asking to stay for their senior year so they don't have to start in a new district, we do allow that. But we rarely allow non-residents into the district as an outside school of choice, and so outside of the school of choice program. And so it is rarely utilized, but when it is, this is the rate that we have established for this year. All dollars do go into the local general fund.
Okay. Mrs. Oquist,
Yes.
this does not apply to school of choice students, correct?
It does not. We receive the foundation allowance of that district when the student comes to us for school of choice. If our funding is higher, which generally now that has primarily been
Level out.
evened out across the board, but if ours is higher, we actually get the lower of the two. We get the sending district's dollars coming to us. And so we don't get additional dollars from the family on top of that. If we have approved them to come here for school of choice, we simply get their school funding, their per pupil funding from the state.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sure.
Are there any other comments on this item? Comments or questions? All right, we have a motion for the establishment of tuition rate for 2026-2027. Motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes, President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 7B, approval of sale of property. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford, or, wow, it's been a minute.
That's great. There's a lot of names tonight. It's as many names as there are motions tonight. Mr. McFarland, yes.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the sale of property located on the south side of Ann Arbor Trail in Westland, Michigan to Infinity Homes and Company LLC, Novi, Michigan, for $50,000 at closing, plus an additional $12,500 for each lot sold. The purchaser anticipates developing approximately 19 to 20 residential lots on the property.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Bradford, and we will hear from Mr. Green on this item.
Hello again, everyone. At our recent committee of the whole meeting, we spent some time discussing this agreement, and as Superintendent Oquist spoke at that meeting, this was a topic that we discussed quite a bit over the course of the school year. So we're very pleased to close this loop and bring this proposal to you for the sale of land. So we'd ask for your approval.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions regarding this? Mr. McFarland?
Yeah, I just want to say, first off, thank you to Mr. Green and everybody that's worked on this. It's been a minute, and this is a very creative way to do it, and I just want to make sure the community knows we're going to net more money than we would have in any other way, and then just how this all kind of lines up as a benefit. The district, i.e. the taxpayer, is no longer footing the bill for it. It's opening up residential lots that will build the tax base and bring in students. So it's truly a win-win-win that I think will be great for not only our Westland part of the community and those schools to bring some new young ones and families through. So thank you to everybody that's worked on this. I think it's going to be tremendous.
Absolutely. Any other comments or questions? Again, I echo Mr. McFarland's comments, and thanks for being very diligent on working on this. This is one that, while tonight's discussion is short, as Mrs. Oquist mentioned in our previous meeting, it goes back to at least January, probably prior to that we began discussing this, off and on through the months. So thank you very much for all the work you've done on making sure that this finally gets to a closure. The board does not take lightly the sale of property. And for larger pieces of property or other pieces that they obviously currently or potentially have future use as educational institutions, we certainly want to hold on to those. However, this is a piece of property that we've owned for some decades. We've never used it for a school. We don't anticipate needing it to use it for a school or any other educational purpose. So if we can garner some funds for it and release it to be used for useful use by the community and ultimately the school district through students, hopefully, that's terrific. So thank you very much for all of those who did all the work on it. Any other comments or questions on this? Seeing none, we have a motion for the approval of sale of property. Motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And Mrs. Acosta, will you take the roll?
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. We have a motion, I'm sorry, the next item on our agenda is item 8, instruction matters, and 8A is the approval of course offerings for 2026, 2027. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton?
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the recommendation of the Curriculum Committee to approve course of study for the 2026-2027 school year in alignment with the Michigan Merit Curriculum and Standards.
Support?
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Frank, and we'll hear from Mrs. O'Brien.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This recommendation is a yearly recommendation that we would like to bring so that we are transparent with the courses that we offer, so that you have voted on what our students are exposed to. You already vote for all the materials that they use and we purchase for our students, and all of this information is transparent on our website for parents to view.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on this item? Seeing none, we have a motion for approval of course offerings for 2026, 2027. Motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Frank. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is 8B, approval of virtual learning days for 2026, 2027. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mrs. Frank.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the recommendation to provide up to 6 days of virtual instruction under 21F of the State Code, of the State School Aid Act, MCL 388.1621F.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson. And we'll hear from Mr. Etu.
Good evening again, and yes, this is for asking for approval for 6 virtual instructional days that can be utilized throughout the school year for this upcoming school year. It's 3 emergency days beyond what's allowed by the state and 3 test days. And we're looking to just use one of those at this point in time, and that's for April 13th, 2027 for the secondary state testing.
Comments or questions? Mr. Etu, will you, for the benefit of those who may not have been listening to our previous meeting, will you please explain how that's going to be used for testing?
Of course. So typically, it's an asynchronous day or independent learning day for our students. What that means is that in the morning, there'll be testing going on in both the all the high schools and all the middle schools. But students who are at home that day for a virtual instructional day or an asynchronous day will be responsible for going to each of their classrooms or Google Classrooms, where they'll have an assignment that they have to complete and turn in, which counts for their attendance as well. And then the teachers, both in the middle schools and the high schools, will be available after testing in the afternoon on their computers as needed for those students.
Okay. Mrs. Frank?
Remind me, the students who are in testing the PSAT, they are not required to take the afternoon, or they do?
They're not required.
Right,
Yeah,
it's
there's-
just the students that did not go to school in the morning.
Correct. The students not testing will be responsible for asynchronous learning that day.
Okay, so they will have off in the morning, and then they'll be asynchronous in the afternoon, the not tested students.
Technically, yes, but they're more than welcome to go on their Google Classrooms in the morning and knock out their assignments.
And encouraged to do so.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions? All right, seeing none, we have a motion for the approval of virtual learning days for 2026-2027. Motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 8C, approval of purchase of iReady Diagnostic. And may I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mr. McFarland?
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the recommendation to purchase math and reading iReady diagnostic licenses for kindergarten through 8th grade students from Curriculum Associates in North Billerica, Massachusetts, for a total of $115,288.80. The total reflects a discount of $28,822.20 in reduced pricing.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And we'll hear from Mrs. O'Brien.
Thank you. iReady is our diagnostic that we utilize at elementary and middle school. It is approved by the state under the benchmark law and under the 3rd grade reading law. We've been using it for about 20 years, and we utilize it for identifying students whether they are at grade level and have met grade level standards, but we also use it to dig deeper and find out where students' strengths and areas of need are. So we utilize it for our intervention groups, and we use it as an initial screener, and then we dig deeper with other assessments in order to determine what other specific needs a student may have. This purchase is a yearly purchase we bring every year, and it provides our teachers with access to current information on their students and a way to analyze that data through the program.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions on this item? Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Burton. Ms. O'Brien, can you just, for the public's benefit, tell us where the funding comes for this purchase?
Yes, this purchase, thank you for reminding me of that, comes out of the Academic Services Assessment budget, and most years, so the last 4 years, there has been a grant that I have applied for that helps pay for iReady. So as long as the state of Michigan continues to do that, I will continue to apply for that grant so that it covers about 80 to 90% of the cost for that.
Terrific.
Excellent.
And I see the rest comes from,
It comes from our academic service assessment budget.
thank you.
Yep.
All right. Any other comments or questions? We had a rather lengthy discussion in just our previous meeting, our committee of the whole, about this specific diagnostic and some of the others that are used in conjunction with it. So if anyone's interested in this topic, I suggest you rewind to the last meeting and listen to that lengthy discussion. It was interesting for those who are interested in that kind of thing.
Thank you.
We have a motion from, for the approval of purchase of iReady Diagnostic, a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. Thank you, Mrs. O'Brien. Thank you. We are on to item 9, personnel matters, and 9A is a sympathy resolution. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mrs. Jarvis.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached sympathy resolution for the family of Scott Leonard, driver in the Transportation Department.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And we will be hearing, I'm sorry, we have a motion by, yes, Mrs. Jarvis. I had it written wrong, but I said it right. Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And we'll be hearing from, I believe, Mrs. Oquist on this item.
Thank you. I'm saddened to share with you, and I know you already know this, but we lost one of our, at the time, current staff members, a really valued and cherished member of our Transportation Department, Mr. Scott Leonard, on June 14th. It is a tragic loss for our school community, our Transportation Department, and most of all, his family. So we'd like to share a resolution this evening that will then be sent on behalf of the Board of Education in our district, if you'd like me to share that.
Please do.
Whereas the Board of Education was very saddened to hear of the untimely death of the wonderful individual Scott Leonard, whose kindness and caring nature touched many lives throughout our school community. Whereas he was a highly valued member of our staff in the Livonia Public Schools School District as a driver in the Transportation Department, where his fun-loving nature was enjoyed by his coworkers for the past 20 years. Prior to that, he served our district as a noon monitor and a crossing guard, providing a sense of safety and well-being to our students. Whereas he constantly demonstrated his outstanding dedication and commitment to students, parents, and staff through his care, his commitment, his kindness, and his willingness to support others each day. He was a go-to member of our transportation team. He could always be counted on to pitch in and to give it his all. Whereas Scott will always be remembered with great fondness and with a profound sense of gratitude for his immeasurable contributions that he made to our school district and respect for the positive impact he made on the lives of those he served. He will be truly and greatly missed by all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District offers its sympathy, sincere condolences, and heartfelt compassion to his wife Stacy, his children Josh, Nate, Shane, and Abby, along with friends and colleagues of Scott Leonard.
Thank you, Mrs. Oquist. Are there comments or questions by board members? It is, go ahead, Mrs. Frank.
I was just going to express on behalf of the board, on behalf of the district with Andrea, just our condolences to the family. And I think the resolution was beautiful. It said it so well, but I just think it's so hard to lose one of our own and a team member always. But when he has been such an integral part of the team, it's hard for all of them that have been involved with and known him. And so I just wanted to express our condolences.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say, so thank you very much for sharing that on behalf of the Board of Education. Our prayers certainly continue for Scott's family. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, we have a motion for a sympathy resolution, motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9B, teachers for approval. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Bradford.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and offer employment for the 2026-2027 school year to the teachers listed on the attached document.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And we will hear from Mr. Grezak.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, good evening.
The prospective new staff members we are presenting to the board this evening have been selected to fill our vacancies for the 2026-27 school year. These candidates are well qualified to fill these positions and have been fully vetted through our extensive interview process. We are confident they will perform at a high level and represent Livonia Public Schools in a manner that is consistent with our shared vision and collective commitments. We are pleased to recommend these talented 18 teachers to join our LPS family with your approval.
Thank you. Comments or questions from board members? Mrs. Bradford.
I just want to say welcome to LPS, and when I was looking through the list of new teachers and staff members, I noticed there were some veteran people that have moved over, so that was good to see that we have a mixture of both some new teachers and some teachers that have been in the field for a little bit. So I just want to welcome everybody to LPS, and I hope that they have a great year.
Absolutely.
Any other comments or questions from the board?
Welcome
No?
aboard.
Yep, absolutely. Welcome to the team. We're thrilled to have them. All right, we have a motion for teachers of approval, and the motion is by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. Mrs. Costa, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9C, teachers for tenure. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mr. Johnson?
you might as well get out your popcorn.
Yes, we have a
Because
lengthy
we're going
list.
to be here for a while.
A long list.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and acknowledge that tenure status has been granted to the following teachers effective on the respective date. Nicholas Anderson, effective 8/21/26. Elizabeth Angeletti, effective 8/30/26. Aaron Bender, effective 8/21/26. Jacqueline Bergmuser, effective 8/30/26. Megan Brennan, effective 8/21/26. Elizabeth Grish, effective 8/30/26. Kelly Brown, effective 8/21/26. Melissa Campo, effective 8/21/26. Lucas Cottrell, effective 8/30/26. Jennifer Craig, effective 8/30/26. Chelsea Goddard, effective 8/21/26. Yoko Hashimgawa, effective 8/9/26. Brianna Hickey, effective 8/21/26. Jody Kazor, effective 8/30/26. Sean Kohler, effective 8/22/26. Lindsay Kruger, effective 8/30/26. Alyssa Massa, effective 8/30/26. Belinda Moore, effective 8/30/26. Megan Neeb, effective 8/21/26. Nicholas Plaucha, effective 8/30/26. Kelly Ralpus, 8/21/26. Aaron Price, effective 8/21/26. Emma Ray, effective 8/21/26. Madison Regish, effective 8/30/26. Carolyn Sochaki, effective 8/21/26. Kristen Schwerb, effective 8/30/26. Mary Louise Swindoll, effective 8/30/26. Jessica Teske, effective 8/21/26. Melanie Watts, effective 8/21/26.
Support.
Good.
We have a motion for many teachers for tenure. Motion by Mr. Johnson and supported by Mrs. Frank, and we will be hearing from Ms. Urso.
Good evening, President Burton, members of the board, Superintendent Oquist. Our teachers for tenure on this agenda have successfully completed the district's requirements for probationary teachers, including years of service, evaluations, overall performance, and documentation of student growth. We have carefully reviewed all the supporting materials along with the recommendation of building administration and have verified that those educators should be granted tenure status with Livonia Public Schools. We wish to congratulate all of these staff members for reaching this milestone and look forward to their continued success in Livonia Public Schools.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions from board members?
Congratulations. It's
Eight?
hard to believe that time has gone by for some of the names on this list, I think. How can you already be at achieving tenure status? Boy,
August,
time goes by quickly.
August 21st and August 30th must have been very busy
Big
days
days,
in the
big
personnel
hiring days.
department
Big
5 years
hiring
ago.
days, yeah. There you go.
All right, any other comments or questions? Mrs. Frank?
I love to see parents who've been really involved in PTA and that sort of thing, and then they come and serve our district as a teacher. I just love to see names on there who have donated so much of their time, and now they're using that in the classroom, and I love to see those names.
Love
It's
it.
exciting.
Any other comments or questions from the board? All righty, seeing none, we have a motion for teachers for tenure. Motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Frank. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is 9D, 9D, leaves of absence. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and approve the request for a leave of absence as listed below. Elizabeth Braun, effective November 11th, 2026 through June 4th, 2027.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford. We will be hearing from Mr. Grizek.
The staff member listed on your board document is requesting leave from Livonia Public Schools for the 2026 school year. Their request is in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement for her bargaining unit, and I ask that you please consider approval of her leave time.
Thank you. Mr. Grizek, you mentioned for the 26-27 school year.
Well,
It is for the
yeah.
specific dates beginning in November,
Yes,
correct?
that's true.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we
Yep.
had it right. All righty. Any other comments or questions from the superintendent or board members? Seeing none, we have a motion for leaves of absence. Motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford. Mrs. Acosta, will you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9E, resignations, and that does not require a board vote. That's for information purposes only. Item 9F is retirements, and may I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Frank.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached resolutions of appreciation for services rendered by Lisa Allen, Deborah King, Dale Mantafella, Dawn Testani.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And we'll be hearing from Mrs. Urso.
Thank you. Tonight, we honor and congratulate 4 members of our LPS family who are retiring from their positions with Livonia Public Schools. As these staff members leave the district, they take with them a combined total of 104.2 years of experience. On behalf of administration, I would like to thank our retirees for their dedicated years of service that they have provided to the students of LPS, and we ask the board to please adopt the attached resolution of appreciation.
Thank you. Even with 4 individuals to amass 101 years of services is really a staggering number when you think about it.
It is.
Are there comments or questions? Mrs. Bradford?
Well, I just have to make a comment on, there was a custodian here for 36 years and a woman who worked and dedicated all her time as a cook and a general helper and the kitchen manager for 29 years. I just want to congratulate Dawn Testani for her years of service for that. Not that anybody else is any other thing, but to work in the kitchen for 29 years, God bless her. I hope that she has a wonderful, wonderful retirement.
I hope someone else makes dinner for her.
Yes, I hope somebody else is serving her meals for a little while, so congratulations. I just had to shout that one out, because that's wonderful.
All righty. Any other comments or questions by superintendent or board members?
Just congratulations. We wish you the very, very best.
Absolutely. We have a motion for retirements, motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item that is on our agenda is item 10, hearing from board members, and 10A is hearing from board members. Do we have any board members who have anything that they would like to share this evening? Mr. Johnson?
Yes, thank you. The last couple of weeks have been somewhat difficult on all of us, and I said from the very beginning it was probably going to be the toughest decision I ever made. And it turned out to be just that, because we had 3 outstanding candidates. And when I listened to the presentations, I think we all had the same reaction, that they were unbelievable. And I think somebody made the comment that we should actually take those presentations and actually use those in the senior center.
Absolutely.
Which I think is a fabulous idea. I was just so blown away by the presentations themselves, the material, the way the material was presented was just unbelievable, which made it even more difficult to make a decision. So thank you to everybody that was involved, particularly our 3 candidates. As I said, it was one of the toughest decisions I've ever made. And I think this district is in great shape.
Yes.
Thank you, President Burton.
Comments from other board members? Likewise, we went through the superintendent search over the past few weeks. First, this is not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time that we're going to thank Mrs. Oquist for, yeah, I know, here we go again.
Get used to it.
Yeah, I didn't make it through it last time. I'm going to try it again this time and see if I can. Thank Mrs. Oquist for your leadership and for your very important part in the process, which was training up leaders inside this district so that when it is your time to retire, which you're choosing to be now, we have an abundance of strong leaders who have well-rounded backgrounds. And much of that for much of that, we have you to thank. You've given our leaders a multitude of different areas of responsibility and time to delve into them and get to be very, very good at them, and then shift around a bit to use their gifts in different ways for our district. That's true of cabinet. It's also true of many other of our administrators throughout the district. It's true of principals who move buildings periodically and get different learning experiences and leadership experiences. But doing those things, sometimes it's terrific and sometimes it's painful. But what you've done is you have created, you are a leader among leaders, and you have created a wealth of strong leaders in Livonia Public Schools. I will thank the folks who applied for the position of superintendent, and those that we interviewed did as Mr. Johnson said, did a superb job. I will share this compliment of those individuals, something that Mr. Silveri and Dr. Weber said, who were our consultants from Michigan Leadership Institute, who guided the board through the process. The Board of Education made the decision to keep this an internal search, because we knew we had such high caliber, well-trained leaders in our district. John Silveri and Bill Weber made the comment partway through the interview process and said, wow, now I really see why you decided to keep this in Livonia Public Schools. You have phenomenal leaders sitting right here in your own district. And we do. So I want all of our folks who went through the process to know that and to hear that. Not only do we think the world of our folks, outside folks whose job it is exclusively to come in, to train superintendents and to come in and help districts select superintendents, sat through those interviews and said, wow, you've got great people here. Yeah. So that needs to be known, not just by our board, but by our community. Ultimately, we have selected Bill Green to succeed Mrs. Oquist when it is your time to retire. What the process looks like from here, for those who may be curious, if you are participating in any of it, you've heard me say it 17 times now. If you've not, this may be news to you. The month of August, now that selection has been made, completed, the month of August will be filled with making sure the contract is taken care of, because all positions have to have a contract associated with them. And for filling Mr. Green's role of the Director of Operations, because that is no small role in and of itself. Then in, let me see here, September, October, Mr. Green will be training the Director of Operations primarily, and then November and December primarily, Mr. Green will be shifting gears and shadowing Mrs. Oquist, so that on January 1st, Mrs. Oquist can put her feet up and smile and take a deep breath, and Mr. Green can take the helm as the new superintendent of Livonia Public Schools. So that's what our path looks like going forward from here. So I'd like to thank Mr. McFarland as the chair of personnel, and this board for doing a lot of very, very diligent work, doing a lot of reading, a lot of studying of material, and making the most difficult decision, absolutely, that I've ever had to make, as Mr. Johnson said, sitting at this board table. I hope we don't have to make another difficult decision like that for a really long time. Mrs. Bradford.
Thank you. I echo all the sentiments. I just want to publicly, since it was a public meeting, but it wasn't on camera, I just want our community to know, as a board member, this is one of our biggest priorities, is to hire a new superintendent. And it was the first time, I believe, the majority of us went through that process. And I just want to thank the candidates that came forward and put their name in and put their heart and soul into the job and the interview and the process, and how impressed and proud I was of all candidates that came before us. As you know, that's just not an easy task to put together all the information, and to gather your resume, and to gather a presentation, and then to go through a rigorous interview process. And all three of the candidates were fabulous, and I'm just so proud of all of them that they took the time to do that. And we obviously had to come to a conclusion on who we chose, and I believe we chose the person that we need to move on into your role coming up, into their new role. But I just want to thank everybody who put their hat in the ring. Really proud of them, and I want the community to know that we worked really hard and tirelessly to get the right person and to do the best that we could to serve our community. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members have any thoughts they would like to share? Mrs. Jarvis?
Thank you. On a different note, this is our last board meeting before school starts, our last regular voting meeting before school starts. And that being said, I just wanted to reach out to the families in our community and remind them that it will be very busy between now and the start of school. We hired 18 teachers today. There's a very good chance that your child's classroom is not settled yet. There's a very good chance that your child's school bus route is not set yet. There will be people registering their students even up till the time school starts. Everything is in flux, everything is in motion. We will not forget your child, but please extend a little grace because there's going to be a lot of things happening between now and then, gears shifting, classrooms being moved around, and chances are very good that there'll be a million changes between now and the time school starts. So please just be patient. It will all work out. But if you ask today why your child doesn't have a bus route assigned yet, there's a very good chance we don't have all of our bus riders even registered for school yet. So please just be patient. We won't forget your precious darling, honest, and they're precious to us too. So thank you.
Thank you. Comments from any other board members? All right, seeing none, we are now adjourned. We wish you a wonderful evening. Good night.